What's going on, Soul Tribe? So I hope you're all doing well. But this is going to be, we're stepping outside of the norm for a little bit. I have some exciting news, and I just wanted to share just some small updates that are going to be that I've been working on behind the scenes, and what are going to be just some changes that are going to be going on going forward. Not a whole bunch of things, but the big news that I want to get out of the way is that I'm going to be starting a podcast, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. And so I'm really excited to be unveiling this thing and to be actually, just giving it, by it's not up yet. By the time that this video is coming out, the page will be published on Patreon. And so what it's going to be called is the Lucky Day podcast, and it's going to be going over like electional astrology, and it's going to go over what are the most auspicious days and times to plan an election or an inception, whether it be from signing a contract to sending some things as small as sending an email. It could be buying a car, it could be buying a home. It big as establishing a country. It's a very, very useful technique, and it just helps to fortify and support whatever it is, whatever thing that you're getting ready to or wanting to initiate. So I'm going to create a separate video on that, going into what is electional astrology, why, and it's going to be just kind of like a basic kind of 101 sort of video. But yeah, as far as just like why, what is electional astrology, why would you want to use it, and what are going to be like the benefits and things behind it, and just going through the ways that I learned the technique, and then my own sort of little personal kind of like rules on there as well. But I mean, it's all, and it's just like no different than how I like just like working with like the classical planets and things like that. But again, I'll have a more detailed video that coming out here probably within the next week or so. This week has been a little jam packed as I'm getting everything all together there, but it's going to be a one, though, with this podcast. It's going to be something that is a subscription. And it's going to be just like a monthly subscription. It's $15 a month. And it's just to, of course, it just helps support me in doing what I do so that I can continue to deliver just these services for you, but also to continue to further my education, better my skills, so that I can be just more useful for you, and to have just have the be as sharp and as effective of an astrologer, and just as possible. So yeah, there's going to be two tiers for that while I'm talking about this. One tier is going to be, the 15 one, and that's going to give access, because the podcast I'm thinking is going to be a bi-weekly podcast, and I'll be going over like the dates for like the first half of the month, and then going over dates for the end of the astrology for like the second half of the month, and kind of breaking it down like that, so that way it gives a little bit of space there. But there's going to be that's going to be the first tier that'll just have access to the podcast, and there's going to be a second tier. That one's going to be 25 a month, but what that's going to include is not just the podcast with all of the elections, but it's going to include a personalized transit report, and it's going to be one that I will release for you monthly. So let's say if you were to sign up today, when this is coming out, it's September 11th. So let's say if you were to subscribe on the September, then usually give me like a day or two. I'll send up a follow-up email to you to get any sort of information that I may need as far as like date, place, and time of birth, things like that. And then I'll create a personalized report for you, talking about any transits that you should look out for, help you get a feel of the month, if there are any kind of particular points that you want to watch or kind of watch out for, and things of that nature. I'll probably have it in a video form, and do like a quick and have like a write-up kind of summary form of it as well. And that's something that you would get each month, and it's not quite like a personal reading, but it's very close. It would be the next best thing, to getting just booking like a personal reading, where I would go over the transits for be more extensive, and really kind of go into the things, break the stuff down, and then allowing you kind of to ask any kind of questions and things. And that'll be the kind of nice thing on the Patreon as well. I'll be taking, if you have any sort of like questions as far as like the any sort of like the elections, how does that relate to your natal chart, things along those lines, that you'll have access. I'll be able to respond to you, and I'm usually really good about usually pretty good about responding to comments in a timely manner. So you'll have access to that, and then also, you'll be able to ask if you have any sort of things as far as like on the report, like, oh, you can email me. You have like email access and things along those lines, where we'll have that kind of conversation for the different transits as things are kind of coming up there. So that's going to be the other service that I provide there, just a little kind of extra thing for you. So that's pretty much the biggest news there, and you'll find it again under, and I'll have a link for my Patreon. That'll be something that'll start being included in the notes, so they'll take you straight over there. So I'm in the, like I said, I'm in the process of unrolling that right now, so be looking out for that here soon. And again, it's going to be called the Lucky Day Podcast. So yeah, again, I'm really excited for that. What that means for the channel, pretty much everything's going to be about the same. The only thing is that's going to be different is that instead of the Celestial News Weekly, I'm going to change that one to monthly. So, and I'll have it still set up to where in the description box, it'll have the timestamps for the different days. So when you want to just kind of however you want to process the videos, if you want to watch it all the way through, or if you want to go to just like the different days to get a feel for like each day, as get it more so kind of in real time, then that's also available for you as well. But however you want to do that, that's going to be pretty much the only change that's going on there. I'll still be releasing the planetary placement videos in between, trying to continue to build up that library. And yeah, so I just hope to see you all over there. And I think that's all I got for this one there. Yeah, I did this one just sort of an impromptu thing there, but as far as like how I'm recording this. But I actually just want to take this time to, just as things have been growing, I've really been appreciating just like, all the comments that you all have been sending. That's really, it's nice to be able to interact with everyone. I got a Gemini moon, and so I'm always in the 11th house. I'm always about talking. I'm always about socializing. So I do appreciate you all, and just appreciate the support that you all have shown. Whether you're just coming to me for the first time, and I can appreciate the support now, or if you've been been following me for been with me for this a number of years. I truly appreciate it. It's now I'm gonna get emotional, but I really do appreciate it. It's been a very fun endeavor. It's been an interesting endeavor. It's gone in a way that I hadn't anticipated, and there's been all sorts of tweaks and changes and things like that, and retrogrades and moves and. Divorces. Been a pretty active time since I started this channel. So I appreciate you hanging along on the ride with me, and got some tea here. Here's to many more years, and to continue growing. And yeah, I'm just excited to see where life is gonna just take us all. So it's an interesting time in the experience, but I think that's both. Yes, there are their challenges, but man, there are their benefits too. And I think that the more that we can get eyes on those things, prior to, and just like figure out how to tap into our gifts and all those things, then it's just gonna be greatness. So. I'm hopeful. I'm always, I got Jupiter on the ascendant. I'm always hopeful. So, but yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much all I got for you there. So yeah, be keeping a lookout for that here. Yeah, it had that here soon. It should be up roughly around the time that this video is released, because that's the date. But you know what? And let's actually, I'm gonna pause this one second. Okay, so I wanted to just have the timestamp for when I am releasing this video. So I'm releasing this at 11:57 p.m. and that is Pacific time. The date is September 11th, 2025 in Seattle, Washington. So, and if you want to pull up the chart, and you can see, because it's a nice chart. It's a nice chart. I did a couple of things with this chart. That's why I'm publishing the Patreon during that time as well. So here's the here's the Patreon, and here's to the stars, and here's to you. Here's to you again, and here's to us. Here's to us growing and thriving in this, and really, coming into our energies. So that's all I got for you there, Soul Tribe. Until next time, stay mindful out there, you know, raise that vibration through the roof. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.